I'd like to introduce Dr. Ram Sharma, who's done the Lamp of Love poetry, and I don't think that's the only piece of work you've done.
That's not the only thing. There are several poems of mine available on the internet on several websites. So the thing is that when the feeling came, this is only I call it a spontaneous overflow, and I don't remember how many poems I have written or I have posted, but that's my mission to awake the people, to make them realize that this is not only the life they have given to them, they should do something so that they can make this world much better.
So effectively, not just be a consumer, but a producer and give something back.
Yeah, we are all have to give something. We have to make this world much more better, because we are only travelers. We have not to live here permanently. We are just travelers. We have to use the things, and we have to hand those things back to the next generation.
I fully can relate to that, and I'd like to explore that a little bit. So can we hear a little bit more about your foundations? How did you start, your hometown, and a little bit about, you are now traveling United States, and what brought you on this journey? A little bit about that.
Yeah, I started this journey to US in 2012. I came here in US, and one of my friends is Professor Carolyn Heising. She was professor at Iowa State University in the Department of Mechanical Nuclear Engineering. She invited me there, and then I got an invitation from Unitarian Church at West Seattle. I did my poetry there, and there is a link available on the internet. My poetry reading, world peace and poetry.
If I can, maybe doing one of our break sessions, or afterwards, we can capture in the chat session some of your links you would like to share.
Yeah,
because
I will.
And maybe if it's possible, just we're seeing only the top half of your head, mostly. If the screen can come down a little bit, so we get all of you.
Yeah,
we get to see your beautiful face there.
That's fine.
So you're from what part of India? Where you?
I'm from nearby New Delhi. My place is Meerut. Meerut. That comes in NCR, National Capital Region.
Oh, okay.
And my place is 50 miles away from New Delhi.
I see. And so let's talk about your desire for sharing your philosophy with the world. How young were you when you knew your mission was different?
I celebrated my 42nd birthday on June 11 here in US.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
On US soil. All right.
Yeah.
My son's birthday is on June 12th, so I was celebrating also birthdays. So in retrospect for you as well.
Thank you.
So your journey. When did you feel? How is the poetry flowing? And what was your inspiration to start with? What was your motivation to do?
This is the journey of the heart. I remember since my childhood, so many incidents. I still remember. I can realize, and I can feel. But I cannot explain at the time. But when I grew younger, and slowly I started feeling the things. And then I realized that I should write something so that people can feel, and they should at least realize why they are on this earth and why they have got this life and what they should do. Just not wander here in this illusion. I call this Maya. They should wake themselves up.
So are you saying it's not just a metaphysical awakeness, but are you suggesting maybe our life is our dream state? So
it's not a dream state. I call this in this way that we have got an opportunity to do our duty towards the universe, towards this earth, towards human being, towards humanity.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting this opportunity, and people are not able to realize it, why they have come. So that they are just caught in illusion or in Maya or in several other dramas.
Yes.
They should realize this, that they have some mission. They are born with some mission.
So that resonates with me a lot. Both myself and my co-creator for ZENtegration.com, we've been very much feeling the need for mankind and for us to spread the word about integrating our heart and our body, our mind and our body and our spirit. And there's no more beautiful way to do that than through music and poetry, which is why when I first saw your link that you're in town, and there's a possibility I may have been able to see you this coming week, but we have to do this on Skype on Zoom instead. So I wanted to.
I'm flying back on June 30th, so I sent you the full information, and I think still we are talking face to face.
There we go, face to face. It's all virtual anyway in this world. So, so tell me about your some of your philosophy in your poetry. You said it flows, and I obviously have listened to some of your poetry. I wish I could say that I've had time since I've just recently met you to listen to a lot more. But I was fortunate that I really enjoy listening to sound at nighttime when I'm going to sleep. So I really absorb and embed what I'm hearing, and I had an opportunity for a couple of nights to listen to your poetry narrated to me. So it was very beautiful.
Very nice. I would say there is nothing philosophy. Philosophy is very simple. Just open your heart and just not for self. Try to realize the other things too, because there are other human beings. There is nature.
Right.
Try to feel that, and that's the simple philosophy. Not just for self, but for others too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, do you do meditation as a process to put yourself in a position to?
I do. My grandfather was a great Ayurvedic doctor, and he was a great wandering sadhu and a yogi. So in my childhood, I followed him, and I appreciated him too much, and I learned so many things from him.
Any secrets you're willing to share?
Yeah, secrets is there. He used to meditate in the morning for more than 1 hour, and he used to call me, and I used to sit beside him, and I cannot tell you the full experience I got at the time, and that was a kind of teaching for me. He taught me by his own example.
Were you using mantras in your meditation?
Yeah, Vedic mantras. I chant so many mantras. One of the simplest mantra is Om. Om is the sound of the universe.
Yes.
Even the scientists have proved that this universe is revolving with the sound of Om.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like this.
Very much so.
Om is a word. It's not related with any philosophy or not to any religion.
Yes.
If you read Buddhist literature, there is the word. They also use the word Om.
Yes. I was recently spent some time in Bali, and they have a very strong Hindu influence in that land. So I had a chance to spend some time with the shaman and be in his space for about 4 hours and learn some meditation and learn some new ways to communicate with my heart, my body, in that spirit. So he actually helped us, both my partner Julie and myself, to learn to meditate with the words so hum.
Yeah,
you know that one too. So
I'm like you. I'm like thee. Yeah.
So hum. It's very, we make it more complicated. We think it's so you have to sit down and put your hands in a place and put your brain in a place.
Yeah, that's why I'm explaining to you. Hindu is not a religion. Hindu, I call Hindu the person or the society who used to live with nature, and they worship nature. And there are so many mantras in our philosophy, Vedic philosophy, that we used to worship tree, we used to worship the earth, we used to worship the rivers, we used to worship the mountains, we used to worship the sky.
It's like the Native Americans. I live in Sedona, Arizona. I get a very strong influence of the Native American, the four winds. The four winds of the earth, from north, south, east, west, up and up and down, heaven and earth, and the connection of the spirits with each of those areas, which includes everything we just said, which is the spirits of the sky and the clouds and the earth and the water.
We should respect the nature, because nature is giving us so many things. You can start from the morning. The sun is blazing every day for us and it's not expecting anything from us. Flowers are blooming for all of us. Nature is giving so many things. So it's our duty to care and worship the nature.
Yes, of course.
And why we keep on just expecting the nature will give us more and more and more and there is no end.
Yes, I understand. Understand. So this is the reason why we're talking, because we have like interest in spirit and what our mission. So I'd like to hear about a little bit more about your poems. Would you like to pick one and talk a little bit about your feelings that you are in the world?
I have written a long time back one poem, Be Fragrant. Its title is Be Fragrant. Blossom like a flower and spread your fragrance all over the world, because we are not just consumers here, or we have not come here in this world just to consume.
Mm-hmm.
We have come here to spread something. Why not fragrance of love and peace?
I love it. Very nice. It resonates a lot. So how are people receiving you? In what format are you in the US?
Actually, the thing is that people are a bit in illusion because they don't know. But slowly and slowly, if we start touching them, they start feeling it, and they are now started realizing.
Right.
Yeah.
And your audiences, are you have rest of the some of you still in the States for a little bit? So what are your upcoming programs so that you can share? And
on Saturday, I'm doing a Vedic fire ceremony at Unitarian Church at Vista.
Okay.
And yesterday I did a program at Encinitas.
Oh.
My friend Casey Hughes is there.
Okay. What was the location for that one that you did? It's so we can track back.
That is Lucadia.
Oh, Lucadia. Yes,
Lucadia
yes.
Boulevard, and the street is Hermes.
Yes. I believe I've. When I come at the end of next week, I will be in Carlsbad, which is very close to where you're at.
Yeah.
And I've actually been to that location. It's a really amazing place. Have you had a chance in Encinitas to visit the Deepak Chopra Center?
I visited in 2013. I told you this is my fifth trip.
Fifth.
So I keep on searching and striking and talking to the people, and you can just compare it just like a flower is going here and there and searching the other flower or the other soul too, so that we can talk and we can be together and we can discuss the things, or we can share the things.
Right.
I visited.
Yeah, I feel very good and strong and connected with that place. It has I did not realize the very first time I was traveling in the area, and I had a chance to just to rent a hotel room, and it happened to be in the same center, the Omni Hotel, which is right there where the Chopra Center is.
But I would like to mention one of my friend is here, and he's 85 years old. His name is Baba Nataraja. He has been a scientist at MIT, and now at presently he's living at Venice Beach.
Oh.
Fully Vedic life, and he's growing his own fruits and vegetables in his orchard and is living fully with nature. He is a big example here. Other people are living with cars and they are eating in the restaurants and other places, but he's not using the other things. He's just using his own vegetable and fruits.
Oh. And you said he's how old now?
85 years old.
85 years old. Okay. How long has he lived in California then?
I think he's living here more than 10 years.
Okay. Yeah. Well, super. Well, I guess God takes care of those who take care of themselves. And
if you visit him, you will find the vegetables are growing with his love. Oh. That is a miracle.
Well, we'll have to exchange
some total miracle.
Maybe exchange some information if I can find time to do a visit and introduce me. That would be interesting.
The thing is that people do not believe, or their mind is not set to realize the spirituality or the power of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Because slowly and slowly we are just going away from nature. In this way, we are going away from the nature.
Right.
And all those the information what we are having is being produced by the corporate companies.
I know.
and we do not know how true they are.
Yeah, we've forgotten even how to grow things.
They are selling one product, and they are telling us all sorts of information, and we have just to believe it.
Yes.
We don't know how true they are.
You know, we've reached a point in society where we don't even know how to grow. We don't even have, we couldn't, if it didn't come from the grocery store, we didn't know where it came from.
I would like to mention one more incident. In the month of February, my mother is 70 years old, and he got a very bad heart stroke.
Oh.
At the time I was in my college, I returned home. She was hospitalized in a big heart center at Meerut.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to the doctor. Her three arteries were blocked. So the doctor advised me to have the bypass open heart surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But her condition was not so strong. So I doubted whether she can bear that.
Excuse me 1 second. I have a small interruption. My apologies for this. I'm recording. So sorry. Okay.
The doctor advised me to do the go for the open heart surgery as early as possible. I talked to the doctor, and I have some questions, raised some questions, whether my mother can bear the open heart surgery, and the doctor could not satisfy me. Then I have some Ayurvedic knowledge with me, and one of my friend have very good information about homeopathy.
Mm-hmm.
So he suggested me that you take your mother to your home and start your homeopathic medicines with Ayurvedic treatment. I did that, and now my mother is doing very well.
So from a diagnosis of open heart surgery, you were able to stabilize. So the triage requirement, did you go through triage in the hospital at all for anything?
No. I cannot go for that because the condition of my mother was very weak at the time, and it may happen that doctor can just say, sorry, I couldn't save your mother.
Yeah.
But I have full faith in homeopathy and Ayurvedic medicines. I tried for that, and the example is with me, my mother.
Wow. That's quite impressive. And then,
this example can teach you or inspire you. You cannot just leave everything in the hands of doctors.
right.
You have to make your own efforts by your living habits, by your eating habits, and so many other things.
You know, it's interesting you say that. Both my partner Julie and I, we had in a situation that occurred in the family about 1 year and 2 years ago. My partner Julie's grandson had a brain injury, very severe brain injury, and it's taken a long time for him to come back from that. But in that process of dealing with emergency care, critical care in the hospitals, it was very, very clear to us that the holistic treatment and holistic health of this child is going to happen not in the hospital. It is going to happen outside somewhere. And it is not because of the medications and the allopathic system. It's really the naturopathic ways are really important. So the foundation of ZENtegration is from the event of us creating a place for people to communicate on topics like this, to be able to share that
exactly, because they don't have the knowledge, they don't know what they should do, so they just follow what the doctors say to them.
Yes.
And what the doctors say, because they're caring for their own greed.
Yes, their own greed. And
they are not providing us the right information.
So how does somebody start who's not familiar with Ayurvedic methodologies? I mean, what would you suggest?
I tell you, let me explain to you more that these things are also spreading more in India, and more nursing homes or hospitals are growing, and more tablets and all those things. So drug companies, they are making new products every month or every week, because they are just thinking the common people as their customers. So they do not want us to be healthy. They just want that we should be unaware, or we should not have the knowledge.
Right.
So that they can earn more and more.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, it's the same here in Horrible. You know, it's obviously the commercial.
They are trying to be in a web.
Yeah.
This is a consumer web. We are just in a web, and they just want this. They do not want us to be healthy. They just want that we should be unhealthy without any knowledge, and we should do what they are telling us, what they are selling us.
Yes. Absolutely, absolutely good. And so taking empowering yourself to be in control of your holistic healthcare and holistic care is what I'm hearing you say. And you can accentuate that through belief systems, through music and sound and poetry and
Exactly. Yes. With the music system, music is if you go in nature, this music is available there with the chirping of the birds, and you can feel it.
I'm fortunate. I live in a little bit of a rural part of the United States, not in the inner cities, but I've spent my years in the inner cities, in the big cities. So I live here for a reason, and because it does provide peace and a peace of mind, peace of soul. So it's important people not to take that for granted. It's something you should search. But it's interesting. People who are living in the inner cities can also find their peace, but by the meditation process that we talked about, right? And also, like you said, and
I tell you, this is a whole web. People need money for their health, and they have to do extra work. Extra load is there, so they have no time for their health. And for whom you are earning? You are earning for those corporate companies. Your money is going there.
Yes.
In this way, they are earning handsomely, and you are just in a very, very bad stage.
So the net effect is time to wake up, like your poetry.
Exactly. We should wake up.
Yes. So tell me more.
I'm telling you that these things are slowly spreading in India, because we are adopting the same lifestyle. We are adopting the same eating habits. We are not doing any meditation. We have stopped going to nature, and we have stopped caring or respecting the nature. So we don't know what we are doing. We are just calling it that we are modern, or we have progressed so much. We are having a car, we are having an apartment, we are having air conditioners, but we are having bad health too.
Right, exactly.
With it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is the case. So I've been very fortunate. I'm doing a series on ZENtegration right now. It's a 90 Days to Zen series. I mean, you may have seen some of my videos if you've been tracking me on that. The whole idea is to empower people to take control of their life, like you were saying, right, and be awakened.
They should realize for what they are there. They have to earn more. For what?
Right.
Because they are saying that I'm selling this product and this is good for your health.
Yeah.
How can I believe it, that it is good for my health or it is bad for my health? Yeah. I tell you one thing. I was reading an article in India. There is one company that is selling one equipment that is called RO, that purifies the water. And I was reading an article. In that article, it is said that that RO harms us because it takes the calcium and other things from the water, and so the same company is making the drug for the calcium.
You have to check who owns whom, which companies are motivated by which.
We have to wake up, we have to read, I think it's our duty to share all these things together.
Yes.
So that people can know what's happening.
So Dr. Ram Sharma, you probably know Dr. Emoto, who is, you're familiar with the studies he did.
I can sense these things. And one more thing I would like to tell you here, that I'm very, very sorry for the poor people that they cannot afford this lifestyle. They cannot afford the doctors. They cannot afford anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have a right to live, and they have right for everything.
Absolutely.
It's not just the money.
Yeah, we take so many things for granted that simply, for example, clean water around the world, right? It's a perfect example of that, right? It's a huge...
I want to raise one more point. We are using bottled water. How much plastic is good for the water?
Yes, not at all.
If the water bottle is kept in heat,
yes,
cancerous elements are there.
Yes, absolutely.
And people are keeping those bottles in their cars with the heat, and they're using the same water, and they don't know what they are using.
I have switched to a it's a material that protects from that, because
Exactly.
we have to be aware of this exact thing. But I
Exactly.
wanted to
What we are using, we should know.
one thing that we you and I just kind of said, yeah, we know about it. I want to just say this because if those people who are listening to this podcast later don't understand, Dr. Emoto actually talked about the water that we drink is actually carrying the energy frequency of love, or what it goes through. And if the water goes through pipe systems and dirty and around neighborhoods and around the world where there's a lot of fear and all that, it captures the energy frequency of that water, and you're drinking it coming out of the pipe. So I actually have in my house, I have a filtration system for the physical aspect of the water, the chemical aspect, a double filtration. On top of that, I put the water in the last filter, which is a pump, a pour, and I put crystals. So I actually have 3 types of crystals in my water container. And as you can probably see, I use crystals a lot as a mechanism, because the crystals it has a cleansing and a healing power, and the frequency transfer that occurs from the crystal. And it's the same idea that when we eat our food, we bless the food, and the blessing process revitalizes the energy frequencies of the food we're eating, and it goes back in our body. And we forget that those are the connections that we have. And and when I was a kid, my parents used to make us say our blessings to the food. I didn't understand this, and no one tells you why you do these things, right?
Exactly.
And so anyway, I wanted to make sure we shared that to the people who may not be, aware of these details. So.
Yeah, because they have no time. They are just running, and the destination they don't know.
Yes, absolutely.
For what they are running.
So if you could, maybe give some closing thoughts around the message to the world and the people who are on the blog, the video post. I do have a fairly large audience in India. A lot of people in India, Brazil, Australia that are here, and I thought it was really relevant. My personal heritage may not be obvious. I'm from Pakistan. So I grew up in Pakistan. I grew up with an Ayurvedic treatment. And when I came to the United States 36 years ago,
Yes.
I have forgotten these because I became.
So you are able to speak Urdu too?
I can speak a little bit of Urdu.
Yeah, I can also speak a little Urdu.
So my Urdu is really bad. I would embarrass myself, but Urdu thodi bahut aati hai. So, but I grew up as a Christian in Pakistan. So
okay.
My mother tongue was English, so I spoke English all my life.
Okay, that's nice.
But it's nice that
I think we should focus on religiousness, not on region or religion.
Absolutely, it's in the human aspect, our humanity. It's I have one of my video blogs. Some of the people who are tracking will remember. I talked about there was a gentleman who is Michael Palin is an actor, comedic actor. He actually traveled from the Himalayas next to Peshawar, all the way alongside the Himalayas down through Rawalpindi into Lahore into India. So his travels across the country, across the world, highlighted a key thing, which is he highlighted that along his journey, it was when he met with the people one-on-one and had communed through food, is the political social boundaries disappear, and we meet on our humanity. We meet at that level.
Exactly. What for we need nations?
Yes.
Because politicians need nations for themselves. They are not caring us.
Yes.
You can go to any country and you will find it the same everywhere.
Yeah. So
they need nations. They need nations for themselves, so that they can become president or the prime minister.
And unfortunately the system is the way it is. But I think instead of looking like it is a unblockable, unmovable mountain, we need to empower ourselves from here, and not look at the fact that what's going on around us is something that is uncontrollable, because at the end of the day, your thought and your mind and your heart is what controls your reality. And
you should, I think it's our duty. We should not be just an instrument in the hands of politicians or other people so that they can instigate us. It's our duty to control ourselves, our feelings, what we need.
So the ending story is wake up. Wake up and empower. And
Always a time to wake up.
And
It's
love
not too
all.
late. Still we have time.
I was going to quote you, by the way. Love all and serve all.
Yeah, that's how we started. All human beings started loving all with nature.
Yes.
And I think the time is coming slowly to that stage the people will start loving each other. Without any, there will be no boundary, no nations. Only humanity will prevail. Time is coming. Time is coming.
And it's not going to happen because somebody else did it. It's going to happen because you or me or I personally, we internally make that change, not because somebody else is changing.
Yes, because you and me and other people are trying. They are trying all the time.
Yes, very much so.
Because that is very much needed.
Mm-hmm.
In this, I call you politicians, they are just trying to create the differences of caste, creed, religion, nations for their own benefit. But it's time for us to wake up.
Yes, very much so. Well, I would like to thank you so much for being on this blog tonight and take some time in your beautiful evening in California, Southern California. I'm sure
Thank you very much. If you need anything for me, more of my views or my poems, I am available.
I would love to.
I want my. It's not my message; it's a message for all.
Yes, I would love to share some of your stuff on ZENtegration, and maybe allows you to, feel free to, share some of your thoughts on our blog, on our site as well. And you reach out to our community. It's really ours to share. So, and I wish you the very best on your rest of your trip in the U.S.
Thank you very much.
Going back, safe journeys.
Yeah.
And please, if you wouldn't mind, maybe on our private chat, if you can also include some specific links you'd like me to include in the video session.
I'm sending you through Facebook.
That's very good. Very good. Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
And at the start of the conference, they have shown us a graphic. A boat which just sinking in the sea. So let us try. We don't think that there is only one way. It's no way back. We have to open our heart. We have to unfold the things. We have to choose. We have to be awake. Not only ourselves, but other people. This Lamp of Love, my poetry collection, has my first poem. Its title is Be Fragrant. We shall be fragrant in the orchard of our mind as love, taking our tears and making a most wonderful rainbow. We shall light our lamp of love, blossoming inside as our dreams come alive, singing in the pure melodies of life inside a great vast ocean of silence. The lyre of life forever sings, ever within a fragrant loving as a sign of love's touch. What we are doing, we are just running, we don't know the destination. We have to, just like you see a train, the engine is running, the all 100 bogies are running in the same direction. We don't know why. So we are just running. Time has come now to pause. Think why we have to run so fast. We have no time for silence. We have no time to eat. We have no time to interact. I have seen here, this is my poetry, I have seen here that people interact more at restaurant when they have time to eat. But in India, it is prohibited to eat because it is not good to talk at the time of eating. But I have seen much noise in restaurant. So it's not I'm not criticizing it, but it's time for us. Why we don't have much time to interact? Or we are just using our gadgets to say hello. Why we are not visiting each other and saying hello, how are you? How is your health? I have bring a flower for you. This is for you. Namaste. Something like that. We need to interact more. We have to open our hearts. There's neither good nor bad. I have just recited the poem. Good is within us. Bad is within us. We have to explore what we want.